Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins. We're experts at AI coaching and helping professionals like you and your employees upskill in AI.
Here we have a rather striking admission from Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. This quote hints at a story that extends far beyond code and algorithms. It's really a story about the power of rhetoric, the weight of influence, and what happens when these high-stakes debates in the AI space have very dangerous real-world consequences.
Our analysis today is grounded in a detailed report from TechCrunch. The piece was published on April 11, 2026. It was written by Anthony Ha and it's titled, Sam Altman Responds to Incendiary New Yorker Article After Attack on His Home. This article really helps piece together the events that unfolded from what became a firestorm of words.
So let's begin by examining the shocking incident that brought this whole conflict to its boiling point, a moment where heated rhetoric became dangerously tangible.
This wasn't simply a threat or an online dispute. It was a violent physical escalation. An assailant actually threw a Molotov cocktail at Sam Altman's home in San Francisco. Thankfully, no one was injured, but the attack itself served as a truly chilling reminder of just how volatile the discourse around AI had become.
So how did we arrive at this point? The timeline is critical to understanding the sequence of events. It began with the publication of a highly critical article in The New Yorker. Just days after that, this criticism seems to have fueled real-world violence with the attack on Altman's home. And this chain of events culminated in a suspect being arrested directly at the headquarters of OpenAI.
Okay, so what exactly was in that article? Let's delve into the piece of journalism that Altman himself described as incendiary, the profile that appears to have ignited this situation.
You see, this was not a simple opinion piece. This was a significant work of investigative journalism by Ronan Farrow and Andrew Marantz. They conducted interviews with over 100 individuals, and through that, they painted a complex and often unflattering portrait that directly called into question Sam Altman's trustworthiness and his business conduct.
One of the core arguments in the profile focused on Altman's ambition. Sources didn't just characterize him as driven. They described what they called a relentless will to power. That, in their view, set him apart, even within the hyper-competitive landscape of Silicon Valley.
But the critique went deeper than just ambition, moving toward his fundamental character. Perhaps the most severe allegation came from an anonymous board member who accused Altman of a sociopathic lack of concern for the consequences that may come from deceiving someone. Now, this is more than just a critique. It's a profound accusation about his personal integrity.
So, in the face of this firestorm, how did Altman respond? Well, he turned to his personal blog to address both the damaging article and the violent attack on his home.
What's interesting is that he didn't attempt to rebut every single claim. Instead, he acknowledged some of the criticism. He admitted that his nature of being, quote, conflict-averse has, in his words, caused great pain, which is a very clear reference to the well-publicized board drama in 2023 that saw him briefly fired and then rehired.
And then came a direct apology. In his post, he stated, "I am sorry to people I've hurt and wish I had learned more faster." This wasn't just a personal reflection. It was a very public move to assume some accountability and attempt to reset the narrative.
But Altman's response didn't stop with an apology. He widened his perspective, offering a rather fascinating metaphor to explain the toxic drama that he suggests is consuming the entire AI industry.
He calls it the ring of power dynamic. And what does he mean by that? According to Altman, the fundamental danger isn't artificial general intelligence itself. Instead, the danger is the obsessive, corrupting quest to be the single entity that controls it. He argues this philosophy is what is making people in the industry do crazy things.
So, if this ring of power is the problem, what is the proposed solution? Altman contends that you have to destroy its allure. He lays out a two-step plan. First, the industry must collectively reject the very idea that any single person or company should control AGI. And second, the entire orientation must shift away from control and toward broadly sharing the technology with everyone.
He concludes his post with a direct plea to the entire industry, saying it's time to de-escalate. He makes a very powerful connection here, suggesting that fiery, explosive rhetoric can, in fact, lead to literal explosions in people's homes.
And this really leaves us with a critical question, one that's not just for the tech industry, but for all of us to consider. As the power of artificial intelligence continues to grow, who ultimately bears the responsibility for ensuring the debate about its future remains constructive and, above all, safe?
Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you like these videos, use the QR code at the beginning of this video to buy us a coffee or hire us to coach you or your employees in AI. Please subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel and like, comment, and share to help us reach a wider audience.